Hey, 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 it's Mystical Monday. It's Dr. Dawn. Just want to first start off by apologizing to you guys for not going live on this week's Mystical Monday, but I was a little under the weather, if you will. I had what's called a vibrational flu. Are you guys familiar with that term, vibrational flu? Or it's also known as a spiritual flu. What that is, it often imitates like the regular flu, like you may have like body aches, sneezing, maybe a slight temperature or fever, but the symptoms are superficial, meaning you still are functioning. And so it's not like our regular flu. Well, sometimes it can make you like bedridden and stay in the bed and tired and fatigued. It'll do all of that as well. But it usually occurs after you've experienced an energy shift that can be caused by maybe some type of healing practice that you've had, such as Reiki, or some type of energy work that you've done, some type of traumatic event that you've experienced that has been life-changing, thus altering your energy. Or for me, it could be from receiving an energetic download that was overwhelming to your system, which kind of caused everything to kind of go kind of out of whack, if you will. So toxins were being kind of removed as this energetic properties were being downloaded like into me and through me, causing my body to respond like it would as if it was a foreign body or infection entering it, like the flu. So fortunately, I've been through this enough times to know kind of the difference between a spiritual flu and the regular flu. So pretty comfortable. It was a spiritual vibrational flu. Didn't last very long, and I kind of know the symptoms. So here I am. So that's my explanation why we didn't go live on Monday. Okay. So now that I got that out the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Dawn. I am an intuitive guide and spiritual messenger. I act as the go-between between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. I'm the one in the middle, relaying the information. More often than not, I do it in my one-on-one sessions, coaching sessions. I introduce my clients to their spiritual team, and I relay messages to them from their team as it relates to their current life's journey, their purpose, and the path that they're headed on at this current moment in their lives that's moving them towards the life that they desire. Okay. So on Monday nights, I work as the go-between between you guys, the collective, and the spiritual realm, AKA spirit. All right. Okay. So tonight, we are going to be talking about modern day Black magic. Ooh, right? When you say the term Black magic, it already has a stigma attached to it, right? We're already sensitive to those particular words, Black magic. As I was embarking on my spiritual journey, when I came across anything related to certain words, it used to make me cringe because I grew up in the Christian faith. And so the words that I came across made me automatically think I was being drawn to these not teachings, but this information because I was being led by demonic energies and forces and entities, because that's the way I was raised to think and believe, right? Okay, let's get through some of these terms tonight. Let's understand this whole concept of Black magic, and let's show how we all use a little Black magic in our everyday lives. Now, there's also white magic. Let me tell you something. There was a little research done in terms of those phrases, Black magic, white magic. They say there's a racial undertone to those phrases just based on where we are in our society and where we have been in our society and history. So for the sake of these teaching purposes, like I have no feelings either way towards the words. I'm just for teaching purposes going to share this with you guys. Black magic is usually associated with magic that is done with the intention of bringing harm to someone else, okay? Harm or injury to someone else. White magic is supposed to be used or is used for selfless acts of thanks, gratitude, things to assist people in a happy, pleasant way, we should say. All right. That's just for the sake of teaching purposes. So you guys have a point of reference, Black magic, white magic, according to the literature. All right. Not according to Dr. Dawn, according to the literature. All right. So let's go through some of these terms, first of all, that are associated with this whole concept of Black magic. Now, in order to even like believe in this concept that it exists, most people say you have to be pagan. Do you know what pagan means? All right. This was a news flash to me, you guys, when I learned what the word pagan was, because I guess I didn't understand it initially, like growing up. I thought pagan meant devil worshiper. Like that's what I thought. The exact definition of someone who is a pagan is someone who holds a religious belief that is other than those of the mainstream religions. Okay, so for the sake of definition, we know that Christianity is a mainstream religion, right? We're going to say Buddhism, that could be mainstream too, right? Judaism, that's mainstream, we'll say, right? Muslim, mainstream, so to speak. We'll say those, we'll name some of the top ones as being mainstream because they're practiced by the collective, with Christianity probably being the main one, right? So anything outside of that would be considered a pagan. All right. And so I gave you a couple of examples of what I consider mainstream religions, but more often than not, most people say mainstream religion is Christianity, period, point blank. So anything outside of Christianity is considered pagan. Now, that made me like breathe a deep sigh of relief, because nowhere in that does it say devil worshiper, as I thought. Maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm the only one that thought that, but I always thought that was directly synonymous with worshiping the devil, and it's not. It just means that you worship something outside of Christianity, which is the mainstream religion. Okay, so I can admit I'm a pagan then, okay, because I don't practice a particular religion, okay? I believe all of the religions have a foundational purpose and a belief system that contributes to our elevation of consciousness, all of them, okay? So that would make me a pagan. All right. The next word that we would have to look at as we talk about this is the occult. All right, y'all. I say occult. Somebody probably clutched their pearls or sat up straight or said, okay, wait a minute, I'm getting ready to turn this off because the devil is a lie. So let's talk about the word occult. Occult only means or refers to supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena, okay? So if we talk about supernatural practice, beliefs, or phenomena, or magical phenomena, wait a minute, y'all. When it comes to the occult, in my Christian upbringing, then all of those things kind of are associated with like Jesus a little bit, right? A little bit, right? So it's only, I think, considered the occult when you're talking outside, when we're dealing with mainstream. Remember, we said Christianity is the mainstream religion. Anything outside of that is pagan. So I guess the Christians is not the occult because it's specific to like Jesus, the practices of the Bible. And so the supernatural and mystical practices and beliefs are acceptable in that realm if you're a Christian. But if we talk about all these things happening outside of Christianity, then it's the occult. It's the occult. You see where I'm going with this? Same concepts, but if you don't do it in this realm, it's considered this unless you do it like this. Got it? Okay, let's keep going. So we got paganism, we got the occult. The next term, mysticism, mystical. I know from growing up, let me tell you, some things in the Christian religion are just a no-no. Magic was a no-no. Like magic is like, they say you're dibbling and dabbling in demonic forces, right? Astrology, No, right? You can't look to the stars. You can't look for anything beyond God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit for direction. Not the stars, not the moon, not none of that. So astrology, no. So mystical is a mystic. Let's just talk about mystic. A mystic is a person who believes in the spiritual apprehension of truth that goes beyond the intellect, meaning you believe in a set of circumstances or situations that go beyond what the physical eyes can see. You believe that there is a higher level of force acting acting in the presence of you, that is something that you can't see or explain, but you know it's there and you believe it to be true, okay? A mystic. Now, most people say Jesus was the biggest mystic there was, right? He's the one that went around telling everybody, about his father that you couldn't see. That's what they say, right? He's the one that said, look, I'm leaving. I'm going to leave you with the Holy Spirit, right? The Spirit, like, he is a mystic. But if you say you're a mystic outside of the mainstream religion, which we're using for our discussion as Christianity, it's woo, it's a no. You can't do it. You're dibbling and dabbling in something in the unknown or somewhere where you don't want to go because it is dark. Okay? Let's get through some of these terms. Let's get with them. All right, so if we have paganism, the occult, mysticism, all of these things are associated with black magic, okay? Most people who are mystics believe that there is no middleman as it relates to the connection to God. You have yourself and your God within. Well, you say, well, wait a minute, Dawn, you just introduced yourself as the middleman, the go-between between us and the spiritual realm, right? Well, let me tell you this. I, my darlings, am but an introduction of you. I'm showing you you. I'm not proclaiming to be any higher than you. I'm not claiming to be supernatural than you. I'm trying to show you you, because if Dr. Dawn can connect directly to the spiritual realm, so can you. That's the difference in a mystic and someone who is in a particular mainstream religion, which for our discussion, we're using Christianity because we're going to define that as the mainstream, okay? So a mystic believes that they can connect directly to the source, okay? AKA God. Okay, everybody still with me? All right, now let's get to black magic, because we got to desensitize ourselves to the terms first, because when you talk about the terms I just gave you, usually the hairs stand up on the back of your neck because you associate them with something dark, lower vibrational, bad, just all of this stuff, right? Okay, now let's get to black magic. Black magic is usage of supernatural powers, like for evil or selfish purposes, okay? Usually used to perform malicious practices. And you'll hear some people like talk about it as it relates to, they'll say voodoo. They talk about how it can destroy someone physically, mentally, financially through those types of means of being. Now, let's back up, okay? Because putting black magic aside, we know that no matter what we do, we're in duality as it relates to this planet Earth, meaning we believe a good and a bad in everything. And so as it relates to these particular practices, it's all in the doer, okay? And so for black magic, it is explaining that it is used when the intention is to be somewhat malicious. All right, malicious intent. Now, magic itself is not malicious, okay? But we perceive all of it. We put all of it in the realm of being bad because we put everything under kind of that umbrella of black magic. forgetting that everything is in the hands of the doer. Okay. Sometimes we associate, well, not sometimes, we always associate black magic with witches, right? I want to tell y'all something. How many of y'all believe the witches are real? Okay. Yes, no, maybe so. I hope that most of you answer yes, because yes, they are real. They're here right in our modern day world. I know three of them. No, actually five. I know five. Take that back. I know five of them, and you know some of them too. You just have not identified them as such because you're looking for probably a black hat, a broom, with them wearing black, or them walking around casting spells on people, because that's what you've been taught, right? That's what you've seen. That's what you've been conditioned to learn. That's what we've seen in the media. Absolutely not. Witches at one point were very respected in that they're healers. That's who they are. They actually would design potions to heal villages. And because of this, they were often haunted because they were actually assisting the people. Okay. It's only in the years where they were painted as these evil or dangerous people when they were really about hope and healing. I don't know if you knew that or not. Okay. So witches have been known to be, and excuse my language, but they have known to be badasses. Okay. Badasses in the sense that their role of being a healer was something that society feared. Okay, because their power is deeply rooted. They used to be condemned, you guys, for dancing around naked and wearing lipstick. Like that used to be like a no, 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 no. Such a bad thing. And so for that, they were deemed as like a force to be reckoned with. And so witches, sure, they practice black magic. But more often than not, that's all that they're associated with. They don't always do the black magic things, just like humans aren't always bad, regular humans. You know, us who think we're regular and you're really not. You have an origin that goes beyond what your physical sight sees. There are fairies down here on this planet Earth. There are incarnated angels down here on this earth. There are Merlins down here. There are, oh gosh, so many people, so many beings down here that are in these human, incarnated human bodies, but we're not aware of that. So we usually focus on the ones that are pointed out to us in the mainstream, okay? And so witches have been usually known to be synonymous with magic. All right, because they can raise and direct energy to help fulfill an intention. Go figure. Go figure. Raise and direct energy to fulfill an intention. Y'all doing that every day. Everybody's trying to manifest, right? Everybody's trying to increase their frequency and vibration. Everybody is trying to figure out how to manipulate this energy so that they can be in the flow. Well, guess what? Witches believe that everything contains energy. Go figure. That's what we believe. Everything contains energy. This includes the nature environment, a natural environment outside of us, as well as us. Everything is energy. We believe the same thing that the witches do. Okay. So if you believe that you are an energetic force that can manipulate energy, okay, as it relates to your frequency and your vibration, guess what? You have something in common with a witch. Ha ha, right? Now, let me just say this. Most people who are in our current day, most may have had a past life as a witch, as I have. I know I have, because information about witches was brought into my energy field for kind of remembrance, learning, and for understanding. Okay. Let me just let you guys know something. If you're watching this channel, okay, you're either an empath or a mystic, or you're both. You would not be on this YouTube channel if you didn't fall somewhere in there, an empathic person or a mystical person or both. Okay. This is not something you need to be ashamed of. This is not something you need to, that is bad. This is not something you need to run from. It is an awareness of your soul's journey, current and past. And so because I have past experiences as, you know, seeing what it was like as to be a witch, I remember very vividly because I had a dream of being killed. Most people who've had previous lives as a witch will remember that. They remember that or have either that thought, that dream, or that remembrance somehow come into their soul's eye of remembering of them being killed. Most of us were, because that was something that was not acceptable. It's still not acceptable now, but I don't think people are getting killed for it. Okay. And so most of the time, people who are currently practicing witches, because there are many of them, come in many different guises. Okay. Not like just back in the day, you may see all different kinds. Now, I don't think as it relates to being a witch, I don't think people accept good witches versus bad witches. People just don't like no kind of witch. They don't even like the word witch. So even if you said, look, I'm a good witch, I do white magic, I am for living a selfless life of helping and healing and prospering others. People don't care about that because you said you're a witch, because we are so caught up in this society over titles. We got to know what you go by, what you practice by, where you learned it from, what you associated with. Like, we got to know all of that so we could judge you. Pretty much that's what we do, so we could judge you. Okay. And so when you are like a current modern day witch, you usually practice like nature types things. You're into intuition, you're into the moon and the stars and, you know, everything that has to do with the universe and being outside. More people are starting to understand that witchcraft is no longer synonymous with evil, because a lot of people are starting to get into these things. Now, it doesn't mean that if you like astrology or you like nature or you like studying zodiacs or moon or stars that you're a witch. Doesn't mean that's not synonymous with every witch. Like you have to be a witch to do those. No. Some of us have a love for that for other reasons, because we have extraterrestrial origin and we're aware of it. Or we have a connection and calling to these things as it relates to our healing and awareness practices. So it could be all different reasons. You don't have to be a witch because of that. But I'm trying to show the similarities between people who call themselves witches and those of us who like are not in that particular realm of that title. Okay. A witch is simply someone who is aware of their power and puts that power into action. Okay. So for modern day, we kind of all are witches. I can't tell you things that you guys do on a regular basis that would be considered synonymous with witch characteristics or witching rituals. Let's give you some examples. So some of you do self-love spells. Did you know that? How many of you have filled your bathtub like with soothing salts, Epsom salt or lavender, and lit candles and laid in the tub and relaxed and connected and cleansed and detoxified? That's a ritual. That's a self-love spell ritual to do that. How about that? You didn't know that, did you? How about those of you who write gratitude lists? We do that a lot now, or we repeat a mantra. How many people repeat a mantra? You cannot fail unless you quit. Or yesterday will be better than today, or any mantra that you create and repeat is casting a spell. You're casting a spell. You're reminding yourself of your self-worth. That would be synonymous to casting a spell. Same thing. How about people who are working on the act of manifesting by focusing their energy, like to produce a desired effect? How many of you are doing that? How many of you are trying to clear your chakras? You're trying to do subliminal meditations. How many of you are doing Reiki clearings and healings? How many of you are doing anything to focus on changing your energy to produce your desired outcome? All things that are associated with casting spells, manipulating energy, just as a witch would do. Modern day magic, right? Not black, right? Not black magic, because we're saying it is for the good and the upliftment of ourselves, right? That's what we're saying, right? But I want you to realize that you also do the reverse without consciously knowing it. A little black magic, if you will. How many of you will see somebody that you are in awe of, or you are admire, almost on the borderline of being jealous, and you say, oh, I can't stand her, or oh, she thinks she all that, or oh, I wish, I hope, I pray that. And then you follow that up with something derogative or something negative or something that is potentially malicious. You're casting a spell. You're doing it. You're doing it. Okay. And so because those things are second nature to us, we take for granted that they fall under the same realm of a little black magic. A little black magic in our everyday lives. Now, witches are associated with using divination tools. Okay, what are divination tools? Divination tools are tools that we use to help us kind of read energy when we're seeking knowledge or trying to understand messages, inspiration, all of that kind of stuff from higher consciousness, higher ways of being. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't really use divination tools. Divination tools are like tarot cards, numerology. I may use that sometimes. I don't use tarot cards very often. Crystals, I use those. Essential oils, I definitely use those. I showed you guys that last week. I always have to like smell the different essential oils to get my energy kind of in a certain flow. I mean, I love it. Automatic writing, I use that. I teach that in one of my classes. Meditations, I do that. And one tool that I use now that I never used to use, because why? I was sensitive to it because I thought it was taboo. It was bad. It was like, no, is a pendulum. Look at this. Look at my pendulum. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. This is a rose quartz pendulum. Can you see it? I got it from mindfulsouls.com, this beautiful rose quartz pendulum. Now, I used to say, why do people use these things? Like, they don't work. Like, who needs to use a pendulum? Well, a pendulum is synced or coordinated with your energy. Okay. And it's designed to give you the answers to yes and no questions as it relates to your energy field and your higher consciousness. So let's kind of try this out, okay? Yes usually means front and back, and no usually means side to side, and maybe usually means clockwise for me and my pendulum. Other people program their pendulums based on how they want the responses to be. Like for me, yes is front and back. Somebody else's yes, maybe side to side. You see what I'm saying? So for me, yes is front and back. No is side to side. Maybe is around in a circle. Okay, so let me get it still as I can. All right, pendulum. Is my name Dawn? Can you see it? I'm not moving my hand. Front and back, yes. Okay, let's ask another question. Okay, let's see. Oh, I know. I got one. Stay still, stay still. I don't want you guys to think I'm moving this, so let me get it as still as I can. Am I a male? Side to side, you guys. No. See that? I'm not moving it. See, I love this thing now. I love my pendulum. I love it. I actually got it in my little care package. I get boxes every month from mindfulsouls.com. I'll put their information down in the comments. But I got it and I said, let me try it. Let me see this thing. This is a rose quartz pendulum. It's beautiful. It is very accurate. You guys would absolutely love it. And guess what? Here's what used to scare me about it. I used to think when the darn thing moved, when you asked the questions, and y'all don't laugh at me because I know y'all thought it or think it too. I thought it was a spirit, like a being moving the pendulum around. So I was always afraid to touch it. I'd be like, I ain't touching that thing because I don't know what spirits I'm conjuring up. This was years ago, right? When I didn't know better. You guys, the movement of the pendulum is your energy. You are the one moving it. Your higher self is the one giving you this information, relaying and connecting the information to you through you. And so whenever you want like an energetic kind of check-in to see what's going on and to see where you are, get you a pendulum. Connect with your higher self. Connect with the God within you. It's you, your energy. Your energy is moving this darn thing. Not an outside being, not a force that is low vibrational or may do you harm. Nothing like that. It is all based off of your energetic consciousness. This is a pendulum. Now, that was a nice one. You don't have to have that kind. You can use a necklace. This is a necklace for that I sometimes wear. You can use that. But I prefer to use my rose quartz pendulum because it's so cute and I love it. Okay. Now, my husband tried to use my pendulum the other day. It didn't even move. It would not move. No way. Because why? It is connected to my energy. This is my pendulum. How about that? So you guys, I hope that alone desensitized you guys to that, because pendulums, the thought of a pendulum used to make me very uncomfortable and nervous. But that was before I became aware. Okay. All right. So what else do I want to tell you guys? Now that you realize that you all kind of have a little witchiness in you. You all have a little modern day black magic in you that you use and do. The question now becomes, do we get wrapped up in the title, the stigma, the conditioning that is wrapped up in the whole concept of black magic and witches and spells and all of that? Or do we just come to realize what we already know? Everything is energy and energy is everything. I don't care if you're a witch, if you're a human. I don't care if you're an alien or if you're a fairy. I don't care what you are. It's all energy. Everything is based off of energy. So there's never any reason to separate or place a stigma on or judge or be afraid of something that is different than you are, because no matter what it is, it's all energy based. You could see a five-eyed, green, tall, what you would consider monster. But if that monster is giving off loving energy, of course, at first sight, you might be a little afraid because it's not something you're used to, and it might trigger a little fear just because it is new, but read the energy behind that being. That's the lesson for us all here. Read the energy at all times. This is forever our guidance and our rules while we're here on this planet, specifically now. So understand that as it relates to magic, it is all about interpretation. It is all about experiencing it, and it is all about your awareness and desensitization to certain ideas and concepts that you have traditionally feared and not known all of the information associated with it because it was not part of your experience. Well, now it is, because you're now learning that even something as simple as trying to manifest a desired outcome uses energy, a manipulation of energy, which is the foundation for magic. Okay. I hope that you guys have learned something today, because I am so happy that I'm at the point in my journey where I am comfortable discussing this with you guys. I know that I've grown leaps and bounds. I know that I have stepped into an awareness, not just of my self-love, but my love for humanity and the concept of oneness that we have down here on this planet, that I am open and aware and free to share this information with you guys. Please leave me some comments as it relates to this topic and what I discussed tonight. And let's keep this dialogue going, because it is my hope that we all become desensitized to things that previously gave us fear due to our lack of awareness, experience, and understanding. We are all down here to be loved. Okay? All right. I will see you guys not next week because it's a holiday. It's Memorial Day. I will see you the following Monday for another episode of Mystical Monday Live, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube at Discovering Your Inner Light. For those of you who are interested in one-on-one sessions, please visit my website at www.discoveringyourinnerlight.com. Make sure you read the descriptions for each of the one-on-one sessions to make sure you find the right one. And hopefully you guys will do it soon, because it looks like I'm pretty booked out the first 2 to 3 weeks of June. So I know 2 weeks for sure. I think we're on the 3rd week now. So please, if you're interested in that, do schedule a session. I am so happy that you guys joined me. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Discovering Your Inner Light, as well as this channel. Please subscribe, like, share, all of that good stuff, so that my videos can begin to reach a larger audience. And once again, thank you guys for joining me. And I hope this information was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.